Many people are going to speculate, oh, the reason he needs a hair transplant, the reason he's lost his hair, it's steroids. Steroid caused him to go bald. Coach Greg, and while I was in Mexico, Chris Bumstead and Ian Valere, they traveled to Istanbul, and that's in Turkey. And why did they do that? Well, they got a hair transplant. Remember a couple of years ago when Coach Greg went to go to Istanbul? Chris Bumstead and Ian Valere, they were supposed to go at the same time as I did, but at the last minute, they ended up canceling. I myself got the transplant as Allie wanted to get hers done, and I was there, and I didn't care, but I said, what the heck, I'm going to get it done. And lo and behold, after getting it done, all the haters, the mosquitoes, they came out in spades. Coach Greg, such a bad human being. He got a hair transplant done. He's talking about it, and he's doing it for the money. He's scamming people into not liking their hair and trying to get them to pay all this money to go to Turkey to try and get a hair transplant. And so video after video, comment after comment, people putting Coach Greg down. Look at this little manlet. He's so scared he has such a horrible hairline. He had to get a hair transplant. I'm like, I just did it because. And remember, I got it for free. I didn't have to pay for it, but I was not paid to lie and pretend and scam you into getting it done. And so people said, oh, your hair, it looks so bad. Did such a horrible job. Is it really that bad? I don't think it looks that bad. I never had amazing hair. You watched me several years ago, I looked like freaking Kramer from Seinfeld. Chris Bumstead, who's got a bazillion followers, got over 3 million likes on him getting his hair done. And so it just goes to show, depending on the person, depending on who you are, you can do the exact same thing. People are either going to respect it or put it down. The same behavior, the same comment, the same attitude, depending on who it's from, people are going to say, oh, such a good guy, or oh, such a bad human being. Case in point, you go to the gas station and you talk to a girl and you say, I like your shoes. I like how you look. Can I get your phone number? If it's Chris Bumstead doing it, it's, here's my phone number. Oh my God, it's so amazing. But if it's some short little manlet who's not good looking, perhaps not dressed properly, oh, you're a creep. Stay away from me. And so you can see how privileged it is if you're a Chad. If you're a tall, dark, handsome, good looking, you can get away with so much, but to the opposite extent, you can have the same attitude, be just as kind of a human being, but if you're shorter, fatter, not as good looking, unattractive, not as wealthy, you can't get away with doing the exact same thing. And so I'm sure Chris and Ian Valere having an amazing experience as I went, did the same exact thing. And what I had about 2,500 hair grafts, I'm told Chris had about 5,500 and Ian 4,500. And so that is a lot. And so the main point I'm making in this video is that I do believe that this is further evidence to support the fact that I believe Chris Bumstead will retire from classic physique bodybuilding. When you get a hair transplant, you are not supposed to sweat, to train harder than last time, to get your blood pressure up and so on for approximately 1 month. Just think of it, you're removing hair follicles and implanting them in a different place, and you can't just go crazy. You can't wash your hair like a normal human being. You can't rub on it, you can't bang your head. And so if you're doing bench presses on the gym and you just had surgery in your head, it's not good for the hair follicles. And so you have to relax and take it easy. And so Chris, who following the Olympia, normally takes about a month off. He trains slightly, not very hard. Do you really think that he's going to train for the Mr. Olympia by relaxing for a month after Olympia, and then going to Turkey and getting a hair transplant and relaxing another month, knowing that he has to be at his best next year? Well, maybe it's possible. If anyone can do it, it's certainly Chris Bumstead. But I do believe that the fact that he has a baby on the way, that he's taking this month to get his hair done, to perhaps look younger than last time, to get that fresh, young hairline again, that the fact that he perhaps is not planning to compete, it's giving him the motivation to do it this year. Remember, he previously was supposed to go and ended up not going. Could that have been because he did not want to take that month off? He did not want to take off that time from training? And so perhaps he postponed it, said, I want to win 5 titles and then I will get the hair transplant after I am going to retire.
Are you surprised?
Nope. I gotta do like 2 more to really get the... I feel like I'm gonna look like I'm like 7.
And so as they shave off his hair, for a guy like Chris Bumstead, who has had amazing hair his entire life, he had very long hair in the past, it's a very strange feeling. Perhaps he's getting ready to be Daddy C-Bum. What the hair shaved off, receding hairline, gonna look older than last time, shaving off the hair. But remember, he's going to be a father. Now, many people are going to speculate, oh, the reason he needs a hair transplant, the reason he's lost his hair, it's steroids. Steroid caused him to go bald. Listen, people, it is genetics. If you have a receding hairline in your family, that is very likely that is going to happen to you. Chris Bumstead's father, which I've met in the past, had a receding hairline. And so it was very likely that his son, Chris, was also going to have a receding hairline. Consider the fact that I'm 48 years old and I began abusing steroids in my 30s, and I did so for 10 years, and I only got a hair transplant at the age of 46? Do you really think that the use of steroids is what causes people to lose all their hair? It is, in fact, possible that it can speed up this process in some people, but for the most part, the people that are going to go bald, they're the people that are going to go bald. Fresh haircut from now hair time. I guess this is what they think a fade is in Turkey. I have a feeling that I'm going to grow back thicker than last time. Well, actually it says thicker than ever though, but wouldn't it have been so much better if it would have said thicker than last time? And wouldn't my voice sound so much better if I wasn't partying harder than last time? Well, down in Mexico. Bradley Martin grew back fast. Wow. Phil Heath, this is awesome. Derek Lunsford, give him a mic. The next Michael Bolton. Jesse James West, honestly, you pull off the Dr. Phil cut. For Chris Bumstead to pull off the Dr. Phil haircut, he'd have to gain at least 50 pounds. Perhaps in 50 years, Chris Bumstead could look like Dr. Phil, but at least for now, even with that dad bod that he has in the offseason, did you see those videos in the past? Chris Bumstead has a dad bob. Imagine if he had shaved the hair off. Would he have then said, oh, he's got a permanent dad bod? After all, in the offseason, he's only 260 pounds of muscle with 10% body fat. That is clearly a dad bod. And so in reading the comments, absolutely nothing but positivity. I'd be interested to see if various YouTubers are going to make videos saying that Chris Bumstead is scamming all the audience, telling people to go get their hair done, forcing it down their throat, making people feel inferior because they don't have as great a hairline as he does. Certainly don't see that. The guy wants to have nicer hair. Girls get hair extensions all the time. They put on makeup, they do eyelashes, they do this brow stuff, and they put in fillers in the lips, sometimes way too much, and they look like this. They look like the two hot dogs talking to you. Oh, yes, it's so sexy. And so people do what they want. Perhaps you're getting a tan. Perhaps you're trying to look a bit taller. You wear taller shoes. Does it really matter? Let people do what makes them happy. Now remember, I'm not saying that if you don't have nice hair that you shouldn't feel good about yourself. But if you want to have a little bit nicer hair, you can afford to do it, you can travel the world, and why not do it? Is it really that bad? Now, of course, don't develop body dysmorphia. Don't think that just because you don't have the perfect hairline, the perfect teeth, the perfect eyebrows, the perfect skin tone, that somehow you're lesser than others. What really matters is what's on the inside. That's what truly matters, and everyone can clearly see Chris Bumstead is beautiful both on the inside and out. And so if getting a hair transplant, doing something cosmetically makes you feel better and it's not dangerous, it's not going to affect you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, then I say go for it. And something that also can make you feel better, try going to the gym, lifting weights, doing cardio, 150 minutes of cardio a week, and GO2 Max. This is my #1 selling supplement. Gives you so much more endurance, better recovery, more stamina. This is my #1 supplement I recommend to everyone for health, both if you're doing weights or cardio. And if you have low testosterone, of course, G-test or 3-test. If you want to get these supplements, don't forget code Greg. Go to my website, enter it, you'll save 10%. Code Greg, 10% off. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Don't forget to watch one of those 2 bloops. And of course, the cookbooks, the training books, the Circle diet book, all that kind of stuff. The Harder Than Last Time clothing line, it's tank tops, jog pants, hoodies, shirts, all that. You can get that on the website, code Greg, 10% off. The free training programs, nutrition programs, all on the website. Click that link. And until next time, I am out.